Welcome back to another video. I want to break down a few trades I made today. The market was up all day today, a lot of opportunities. A select few stocks really rocketed. AMAT, Tesla, Meta, Coin, Salesforce, Microsoft, Nvidia, AMD, all those performed really well today. Also traded on SPY. The first one I'm going to break down for you though is Nvidia. Most of these opening trades, I make a lot of the time the same trade, so I'm looking for the same setup, getting really proficient at the setup, and I'm going to basically break all three of them down for you. The first one's going to be Nvidia. So what I want to do first is on the yearly chart, I want to plot major areas of support and resistance. So you can see here I have three lines on Nvidia over the past few months. You can see here we were holding this support around 117.50, 117. It tested multiple times over and over, tested here again and rejected, and we kind of consolidated for about 3 days. We had 3 red days, but we never broke below that 117.50, and that kind of created a range. So I wanted to see if we could break above that range for one. So that was the main reason I was looking at Nvidia. We're also holding up the 50-period moving average. So what I do from there is I come over to the 20-day 1 hour, and I change the color of my line so I know what time frame the line came from. So you can see here the support from the yearly time frame that we were just on, and we have this yellow line that is showing resistance over the past few days. So you can see here we're kind of just grinding in this channel. So now that we have that figured out, we can see that above this area we pretty much don't have any overhead resistance until up into the 125 area. So this shows me that if we can get a trade in the morning, and then potentially if it breaks above this yellow line around 122, we have a potential to trade up toward the 125s today or over the next couple of days. And from there we're going to go down to the 5-minute chart. I trade on the 5-minute and the 2-minute chart. See right here at the open we have a gap up, a strong gap up, and never really pulled back far. It held it up, making some higher highs. You have a little bit of a support area right here pre-market, and then we have the trade. So when you see this right here, this huge wick at the open, either on the 2-minute or the 5-minute, one, it's holding up the 50-period moving average, but this is back through the open trade. And what that means is this stock opened, it kind of fell down and rejected, and then it came back up through its opening price. And then if for me, sometimes I don't always enter right away. I want to see a break of some kind of structure. So we got a break of this pre-market area right here, and I entered this trade. We also have a lot of volume confirming this trade, and I followed this trade all the way up, and I scaled out of my position as we got to that resistance level because we don't know if we're going to break it. And then we moved on up, and then once I got 2 red bars kind of taking out most of this green candle, I exited out of that trade. Now there was other opportunity later in the day on Nvidia that I did not catch because I was trading some other things, but that's the Nvidia trade. SPY, pretty much similar thing. There's a lot of opportunity in SPY today, so it's kind of in this range all day. I took an opening trade back through the open trade here this morning. Didn't make too much on it before it sold off into that resistance. Came back down, sold off. We retested this resistance a 3rd time and failed. I ended up shorting SPY with puts at this area right in here when we broke down after the 3rd retest. And we rode that all the way down, and then once it broke through the 50-period moving average, I held on to it, and then it kind of fizzled out. Once the volume kind of fell out and we started turning around, I got out of this trade. Another opportunity back to the upside here. Maybe once it broke the 50-period moving average and made a higher high, could have probably entered this trade back in again. AMD is my 3rd trade of the day. Pretty choppy for the most part, but in the morning, same trade. We got this back through the open over pre-market resistance right here, and we were able to make about $1 on it, and then that was pretty much it for AMD. But simple breakdown, just easy support and resistance, and then taking advantage of the gap ups, looking for 3-5% or more gap ups in the pre-market, and then just kind of drawing your support and resistance and see if they can hold, and then make your trade. So since we're above support, we're kind of confirming our bias to the upside. Another potential trade is if this back through the open didn't work, is if we fell back down to this yearly support level and held and then turned around, or if it broke that level and then came down further, if the market fell, and then we could trade it to the downside. So a couple of different options there on all three of these. They all kind of worked out the same. Some AMD kind of got really choppy. But other than that, that is my trade breakdown for today. Hopefully that guys